for person deducting TDS. We've seen returns for normal registered taxable person, composition scheme, non-resident taxable person and input service distributor. We'll now see GSTR 7, which is the return for a person who's deducting tax. This is nothing but the TDS return. If you're familiar with the TDS provisions under direct tax, the TDS return that you get from the ACES system, this is almost similar to that, the TDS return. Now, you have a supplier and a recipient. Let's check out what the TDS exactly is. The supplier sells goods and charges GST on invoice to the recipient. The recipient pays invoice amount plus GST after deducting a portion of tax to the supplier. That portion of tax is what we are talking about. That portion is called TDS. And the recipient is the person who is deducting tax. As per GST law, there are only few types of people who are required to deduct tax, and these are all related to government. They include the department of the central or the state government, a local authority, a government agency, or any person who is notified by the state or central government. This is the list of people who are required to deduct tax. They are all related to government and they are the deductor. The recipient is a government agency or a department, they are the deductor. The supplier is the deductee. Because the recipient is government, it only makes sense that they deduct tax, because in this way TDS would ensure better way to collect tax. There will be very less leakages for supplies made to government, because after all, tax is a government revenue. If a government agency itself is collecting it, it is much more reliable and safer. That's a better way to collect tax, and that's what was the concept behind introducing these lists of persons to deduct tax. Let's now get into the detail of GSTR 7, the TDS return. There are only three broad categories. This is a very small return. Three broad categories: basic details, TDS details, and liability payments and refunds. The first one, basic details. By now you would easily guess what is included in this. The GSTIN, the name of the deductor, the recipient, government agency in our case, the period of the tax return. These are the basic details. Moving on to TDS details. Now, if you are familiar with the TDS return under direct tax, almost similar requirements are asked in this return as well. You first of all have to give the GSTIN of the deductee. It's very logical. You are deducting tax from the supplier's invoice, and therefore the government would want to identify who's the supplier, and that's why you given the GSTIN of the deductee. You given the contract details. On the basis of what contract is the supplier supplying the goods or services to you. The contract detail including the date, value and the reference number of contract. The invoice details including all these three: number, date and value. The date of payment of invoice amount after deducting tax, of course. Amount net of TDS to the deductee when the recipient has paid the invoice amount to the deductee, the supplier. That you will have to mention the date, the total value on which TDS was deducted, the taxable value on which TDS is deducted, the rate of TDS and the amount, IGST, CGST and SGST, the percentage of tax that has been deducted, and as always, any revision made to these details in any of the previous returns during the current period, you will have to give that as well. It's very straightforward. Just deductee related details, invoice related details, the value and TDS related details. That's all that you have to give under this heading. That gives us only one more category to discuss, the liability, payment and refund. This is also pretty straightforward. You have the invoices that are coming, you know how much of TDS is payable. So you have to give the TDS payable and paid detail on an aggregate level. The cash ledger number, when you've paid TDS to the government, your cash ledger, electronic cash ledger gets debited or credited if it's payable. You'll have to give that number, the interest, in case you have late paid the TDS, then the interest on such delayed payment, the fee for filing return late filing fee, that also has to be mentioned, and in case any refund for excess TDS paid is claimed, the details of such refund would also have to be mentioned. And that's all. It's a very simple and straightforward return, the TDS return, with only 3 broad headings, and we've seen all 3 of these. We had the deductor and the deductee. Now, the deductee, the supplier, has to be sure that the recipient has actually deducted the tax and has remitted to the government on his behalf. He should be sure that the recipient has not actually short paid the invoice to the supplier, but has done his part of the duty. The tax on behalf of the supplier has been paid, and that's why you have the auto-populated return, the checking return. The supplier, the deductee related details in the TDS return filed by the deductor in GSTR 7. GSTR 7 can have a lot of suppliers on whose behalf the deductor, the government agency, has deducted tax. What the tax system does, GST tax system does, is extract one supplier related information from GSTR 7 and send that in an auto-generated form, which is GSTR 7A, to the supplier, the deductee, for information of the TDS paid on behalf of the supplier. Therefore, GSTR 7A is nothing but a tax deduction certificate. A certificate showing that the tax has been deducted and paid to the government. And that's all that is relating to the details in GSTR 7 and 7A. One more aspect, the due date. The due date of GSTR 7 is 10th of next month. Within the 10th of the next month in which the TDS has been deducted or paid, GSTR 7 has to be filed. With that, we've seen the 5th category of taxpayer, TDS. In the next video, we'll check out the last and final category, e-commerce operators.